Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ali and here I just talk to myself about books, and then someone, maybe you, may or may not watch this at a later date. Today it's time to pick out what I'm going to be reading in July. So let's get started. Okay, so last month what I ended up doing was I put all of the books on my TBR into this wheel app, and I actually really enjoyed how that picked, and it ended up going pretty well, and I ended up getting through quite a lot of my TBR. So I'm going to be doing that again. I have added a few like mood reader wedges, I've added a couple of classic wedges, and if the fancy takes me, I may also utilize my previous Illumicrate cards, like prompt cards, to try and pick out one. So without further ado, let's pick out the July TBR. Okay, so first of all, I have no idea how many to pick out because I feel like I'm always either overly ambitious or not ambitious enough. But I guess if I don't pick out that many, then I can also leave some room for mood reads. So I will probably pick out about like 7 books and we'll see how we go. Depends on how big they are. Let's spin the wheel for the first book. Okay, that was terrible. Let me spin it again. Okay, so we have Cruel is the Light. So let me go pick that out. Okay, I'm actually super excited to get to this because this is probably one of the most stunning books that I own in terms of sprayed edges. And also, I pre-ordered it from Waterstones a long time ago. I think it was like January or February, and just haven't read it yet, and I really want to. So this is Cruel is the Light by Sophie Clarke. This is like a YA romantasy, I think, and it follows 2 soldiers, I guess, from opposing sides in the midst of like a brutal war between demons and humanity, which has raged on for like way too long. Their paths cross, and despite them not like trusting each other initially, they end up working together and love may or may not blossom. But anyway, this looks super good and it sounds really interesting, and you know, I love a bit of fantasy anyway, but love the cover, love the sprayed edges, they're just stunning, and the naked hardback is a cute one as well, so I really like them. So yeah, I'm very happy with this choice. However, it is quite a chunky one, so I might have to revisit how many books in total I'm going to be picking out. Okay, so I have now hidden the slice which said Cruel's Delight on it, so let's spin again. Ooh, Athena's Child. So that is a myth retelling, so let me just go grab it. So if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know how much I love Greek mythology, or just mythology in general, especially retellings, actually, or just mythology in general. And my favourite character from Greek mythology is hands down Medusa. I feel like she was completely done wrong by everyone in her life and was not like portrayed in the way I wanted her to be portrayed in a lot of the retellings and stuff. Recently there's been a bunch of retellings about Medusa. I've read a couple, so Stone Blind and Medusa by, I can't remember who the author is, here, Medusa by Jessie Burton, and then we also have a Stone Blind by Natalie Hayes. And I really enjoyed both of those, but they have left me wanting a little bit more. So I did find this other copy, so Athena's Child by Hannah Lynn, which is another retelling of Medusa's myth, and I couldn't leave it, so I decided to pick it up. It's a very short book. I don't know why these books about Medusa are so short, but yeah, this is another Medusa retelling, which I've got very high hopes for, and I'm hoping that it kind of, again, just talks about how horrific men are in Greek mythology and how the women are so mistreated, because that is the core of all these stories, let's be honest. But Medusa was wronged the most. Actually, wasn't it the most? I feel like there's so many of them, but hers, I love her story and I want her to be portrayed correctly. Okay, I'm really enjoying this, so let's do another spin. Just ignore the random Google ad. first binding. Oh god, that is a monster of a book. Ooh. Okay, I did say I'd give myself a veto, but what the wheel picks, the wheel gets. So let's have a look. So this is another book that I've had on my TBR for years. And you'll soon see why. Like, oh god, it's so thick. It's so thick.
He's thick, boy! That's a thick ass boy! Damn!
I mean, I love a thick fantasy book. That's why I got it. But it's just been daunting. It's got 800 pages. Over 800 pages. 817 pages. And I don't even think that this is a standalone. I'm pretty sure there's a sequel to this that's recently come out. However, I do not own it, so I will not be reading it, but oh, it still smells so good. But I suppose it's high time that I do read this. I'll just have to be a bit more careful. Oh, the wheel will have to be a bit more careful on my future picks, but also I will not, you know, put myself down too much if I don't manage to read this. But this is another high fantasy story, and it's written by R.R. Verdi. I will quickly read the blurb because I don't remember what it's actually about. All legends are born of truths and just as much lies. These are mine. Judge me for what you will, but you will hear my story first. I buried the village of Ampor under a mountain of ice and snow. Then I killed their god. I've stolen old magics and been cursed for it. I started a war with those that walked before mankind, and I lost a princess I loved and wanted to save. I've called lightning and bound fire. I am legend and I am a monster. My name is Ari, and this is the story of how I let loose the first evil. So, I mean, it does sound really good, to be fair. I remember like reading about it. I also remember watching quite a lot of different reviews about this, and they got really good reviews. So I have been keen to pick it up. I say keen. I'm keen to pick up every book in my TBR until I'm not. So I guess this is going on the TBR. It's so thick though. Okay. I feel like given the fact that I have just pulled out the first binding, I should only pick out like another 3 books. I've got 6, and then it leaves me a bit of like wiggle room. Also because I've decided I really want to read The Night and the Moth. So if it doesn't come up, I'm going to be adding that to my TBR anyway, because I want to pick that up like ASAP. I think I'm gonna finish Nightshade and then pick up Night and the Moth. So, right, hide slice and let's go again. Okay, this is an Italian book by a singer that I really love, but I'm gonna veto this because I do not feel like reading it at the moment. So I'm going to spin again, and I can do that because this is my video, my rules. The Good Son. Okay, actually I do kind of really want to read that, so let me go grab it. So I recently watched K-pop Demon Hunters, and it was great, by the way. Everyone should watch it. It's got me back into, I mean, am I ever out of the mood of K-dramas? No, I'm not. And of K-pop? No, I'm not. I'm currently also watching My Demon, which is a K-drama about a demon, you've guessed it. And it's really good and I'm really enjoying it. And this one is more of like a real life drama, but it was also made into a K-drama. However, I wanted to read the book before I watched the show. So I picked this up, I think I got it from World of Books, and I have yet to read it. So what a better time than now that I'm back fully into my like K-drama craze. So this is The Good Son. Eugene is a model student, a successful athlete, and a good son. But one day he wakes up covered in blood. There is no sign of a break-in, and there is a body downstairs. It is the body of someone he knows all too well. Eugene struggles to piece together fragments of what he can remember from the night before. He suffers from seizures and blackouts. He knows he will be accused if he reports the body, but what to do instead? Faced with the unthinkable choice, Eugene makes an unthinkable decision. So this is like a crime thriller, mystery, like K-drama. I've heard really good things about the like drama adaptation, and I do really want to watch it. But I've also heard good things about the book. So very excited to pick this up. And I mean, it's definitely not a summer vibe, but whatever. I guess we'll be doing it. So we've picked out 4 books so far. I have unofficially added The Night and the Moth to this pile as well, although I might end up getting to that before the end of June. We shall see, because it is currently a few days to the end of June and I don't think it's going to take me that long to read this, so maybe we'll be able to spare that for June instead of July. But let's spin again. Just see the circle of the light. The Red Palace. Oh my gosh, yes! Another K-drama-esque book. Okay, this is actually working out really well, apart from the first find. So here we have it. This is The Red Palace by Junhe. I've really been wanting to read Junhe's books. She always comes up on like Book Talk and Bookstagram, and I really like the sound of all her books. I believe she's got another one, like something like The House of the Cranes or something. That sounds really good. This is kind of like a historical, she is herself has said it's like a historical K-drama with some like mystery and crime and horror type elements, but this is, I don't want to read the whole full blurb at the front. I will read the excerpt at the back because that's kind of what attracted me to it. So, he turned the crinkled paper over to me, the sheet splattered and smeared in blood. Chills prickled down my spine and I heard again the whistling arrow, the thudding of death. I closed my eyes a moment until my mind cleared, and when I opened them I saw before me hanja characters, ink dripping in vertical lines. The Crown Prince killed me. The Crown Prince killed the 4 women. The Crown Prince will kill again. So this is set in like 1758, so it's definitely historical. It's at the time where they wore like these sorts of clothing, and yeah, I think it follows a like illegitimate daughter and then her story, and she ends up coming across the Crown Prince, who is not who appears to be. So yes, very excited to read this as well, and I'm loving this K-drama vibe. Do I have any other K-drama-esque books that I could pick out? We shall see. We shall see. If you do have any recommendations, I am like very much awaiting the sequel of The God and the Gumiho, because I absolutely adored that book and I can't wait for the sequel. But if you do have any recommendations of like K-drama like books by Korean authors, please put them down below, because I am really craving them and my searches so far have not turned up that many. Okay, so this is going to be our last pick, I think, for the wheel, but we shall see. I kind of want the first in the series. Heartless. Oh, okay, yes, this is one of the cowboy Elsie Silver books, so let me just go grab it. So this is Heartless by Elsie Silver, which I believe is the second book in the Silver Springs series. Is that what it's called? I don't, or is that the other one? I literally don't know. But this is book 2 of whatever series this is. It's like cowboy inspired romances. The first one is Powerless, which I read, no sorry, it's Flawless, which I read last month. It wasn't great. I didn't enjoy it as much as I hoped I would, given all the hype around it. I found it quite cringy in places. I didn't really like the characters that much. I thought like the relationship between the main female character and her dad was like weird. He was just like way too invested in her sex life, and also I didn't particularly ship the couple together that much because I didn't have that build up that I kind of need sometimes. But I've been told that some of the other ones in the series are better, so I'm willing to give it a go. And this one follows one of the characters that you do meet in the first one, who is Cade Eaton, I think. So he is one of the friends or one of the brothers of one of the characters in the first book. So working as a nanny for the world's grumpiest single dad should have been simple, except I can't keep my eyes off him and he can't keep his hands off me. Cade Eaton is 13 years older than me and barely looks my way. Until I get him in the hot tub for a game of truth or dare, then all bets are off and so are our clothes. So obviously these are like purely smutty romances. I don't expect too much in terms of plot, but as I said, I don't always need that. Sometimes it's fine to just have a good time with a good book. So I'm willing to give it a go. However, I might add another book to the pile, also because these tropes aren't enticing me too much, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of like age gap romances or like single dad nanny type vibes, but I'm willing to give it a go. However, there is a very real possibility that I might DNF this, and even if I don't think it's going to take me too long to read, because Elsie, I mean, so far anyway, it's been a very easy and quick to read Elsie Silver books, so I might add one more just to cover all bases. Okay, this is the last one, I promise. I will not be reading 100 Years of Solitude. Full disclosure, I have read this book before. I want to reread it. I don't think this is the time to reread this mammoth of a book. It's a great family saga written by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I absolutely adore it, but given the fact that I have already an 800-page tome on my list, I will not be reading this as well, because it's so confusing. You have like, I can't remember how many generations, but their names are so similar, so it's one that you really have to focus on, and I have read it before, so it would be a reread, so I'm going to veto again. Interview with a Vampire. Okay, we can do that, although it's not very summary, but we like vampires, so we can definitely do that. Okay, so last but not least, we have Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. I still haven't seen the show. I have watched the movie like many years ago. Do not really remember 100% what happened in it. I've never read the book, or if I feel like I did read the book when I was like at school, but I don't remember it. So it's very much time to reread this. This is like one of Clockwork Reader's like favourite shows, and she's definitely recommended the book as well, and I very much trust her taste because it's impeccable and I've enjoyed everything she's ever recommended. So I am very much excited to get to this. I've also heard great things about some of the other series Anne Rice has written, and I do want to check them out, but some of the books are quite hard to find, so I will definitely start with these because they're easier to find, and then kind of see where I go from there. But I will read the blurb, and I feel like people do know what the story is about. Hey buddy, you okay? Sorry, the dog's here. The dog is here. Whoop. You right, buddy? Sorry, that was just a little side note. Oh yeah, you can have a cuddle. So in a darkened room, the boy sits, waiting for the story to begin. His companion is a young man cloaked in shadow, his voice low and soft. Only the pure white of his collar is visible in the gloom. The story of this man's life is about to be told, a story of a vampire facing a dark stretch of eternity, cursed with an exquisite craving for human blood. It's all told as an interview, so pretty exciting, don't you think? Do you like the pile of books that we picked out? I think yes. I think he just wants his dinner, to be honest. He doesn't care about me. So here we have the TBR for July. It may or may not go to plan. It may also get bigger, get smaller, unknown. We'll see how it goes. But I think this is a pretty good one. I'm very excited about like the Korean inspired, K-drama inspired ones, or like K-drama-esque books, and also super excited for, actually I'm excited for all of them. It's just I'm very much terrified of the first binding given how big it is, but I'm sure it'll be fine. If you've enjoyed this video, please do pop a like. As always, any recommendations, please do pop them down below, and if you want to see more, please subscribe. See you soon.